Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming a very exciting collaboration video. So if you are new to my channel, if you are coming from two of my beautiful friends' channels, welcome. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. So if you're a tan girl, I highly recommend subscribing to my channel because I love to review and do first impression videos of new makeup. If you're not a tan girl, that's fine too. Again, I love to play with new makeup. It doesn't matter if it's indie or high-end or Sephora brands or things you might see at Ulta. I like to try a little bit of everything, which hopefully is up your alley. So thank you guys so much for checking me out. If you're wondering, Karen, what is this collaboration? Tell us everything. Well, this is a tag created by my friend Leora here on YouTube. She is colorful, flower, happy, beautiful. So she has an incredible channel. She's always reviewing beautiful indie makeup, colorful makeup. She has the most beautiful head wraps, and you guys just have to take it from me. If you're into colorful makeup, you need to check out Leora's channel. I love her so much. And then my other collaborator is Katie Marie. I have collabed with her before. We collabed on our favorite green eyeshadow palettes, I think a few months ago. So I'll try and remember to link that down in my description box. And she loves green eyeshadow, I think as much as I do. I think we both love green eyeshadow. So I'm so excited to be collaborating with both of these beautiful women. If you haven't checked them out, or if you have, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Please go ahead and check out their videos. I will link them down in my description box. Go leave them a comment. Tell them that Karen Harris sent you. That would make all of our days so much brighter. And I just want to say thank you to Leora and Katie for including me in this collab. Okay guys, so like I had mentioned in the intro, this tag was created by Leora. I'm a little bit nervous. I have them all here in front of me on my phone. I read through them when she originally asked me, but let's be real, I'm mostly unprepared. But let's get into it. The first question, are you easily influenced by others or do you follow your own path? I would like to say it's definitely like a 50-50. Yeah, it's 50-50. My friends that are influencers definitely have a lot of influence on me. I love going to Angie and Amy for indie makeup. They're always on top of it, especially Amy. Like, Amy runs Indie Makeup Spotlight, in case you didn't know. And I feel like she really has her finger on the pulse, as people say, when it comes to indie makeup. She knows all the hip, cool indie brands, and she's not afraid to try things, which totally influences me. And then I think sometimes I am on my own path. Like I said in my intro, I love neutral, I love colorful, I like indie, I like high-end. So just looking at my eyeshadow palette collection, which is located directly in front of me, I can see so much variety, so many different brands, from single shadows to palettes to big palettes to small palettes to mini palettes. Like, I really do enjoy trying different things, trying multiple palettes from brands. So I definitely think it's very split. If I'm talking to my friends, they can easily influence me to buy something, or I'll just go against the grain and buy something that just really appeals to me. For example, the Nikki Tutorials and Beauty Bay palette. I'm actually really shocked that I bought this, but you know what? I felt like supporting her. I felt like the price point was right. And I feel like so many people really like Beauty Bay, so I wanted to see for myself if the hype was real. So hopefully that explains it just a little bit for you guys. So number 2, who inspired you so much you wanted to start your own channel? So I really kind of started my channel in like 2011, and I had done the fashion blogger thing, and I would definitely say I got into YouTube and watching like Jaclyn Hill, and I was like, you know what, I can do that. I wanted to incorporate YouTube into my blog. And so if you go back, I do have YouTube videos from like 2012, 2013, when I was still in college. I hadn't even thought about getting married. So you can really see the evolution of Karen taking place on YouTube. If you really want to get nosy, it's all on there. Definitely cringy, but I will say I have one subscriber that has been watching my old videos and leaving comments, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this person is gonna unsubscribe to me by the end of this whole thing. But I do appreciate it. But yeah, I would say probably Jaclyn Hill, but I always kind of have been interested in YouTube and media and social media because I studied marketing in college, so it's always been something that has interested me. And I think I left school right when social media was something that was actually being taught in classrooms. So I never got like a class in social media marketing, but I think that kids are actually learning that as a class in college, if I'm not mistaken. You'll have to let me know. I'm a little bit old now, so I don't know what the cool kids are doing these days, but I think that's a thing now. Okay. Number 3, name some amazing products that you bought because other influencers recommended them to you. Oh my gosh. I feel like Britt Clark is gonna be the major offender in this situation because she has continued to influence me over the last few weeks. So I did pick up the Glam palette probably because of Heather Austin. She was really enthusiastic about that. Angelica Nyquist made me try the Juvia's Place lipsticks, of course. Britt Clark from back in the day. This highlighter, she used to rave so much about Lunar Beauty's highlighters. That's kind of like the first videos I started watching from her. Everything around me, I mean, I feel like I can just look around and see who, oh my gosh, this one, Stone Vibes by Urban Decay. I had no intention of buying this palette. And then a majority of my friends on YouTube picked up this palette and I was like, oh, I still didn't buy it. But then I think my husband saw me humming and hawing over this, that he bought it for me. So, I mean, it's endless. The Be Perfect palette, like everywhere I look. Angie influenced me to buy the Sweet Shop's Cherry palette from BH Cosmetics. Like, I had already bought the pink, the blue, and the green, and then Angie was raving about how good the red one was, so of course I had to buy it. Like, it's endless. I'm constantly being influenced. I have the Britt Clark brush bundle. Oh my god, everywhere I look, I see my friends just hovering around me. This one, Angie made me buy. It's the Uma Beauty foundation. She's been raving about this foundation. It's the foundation I have on today. I picked this up during the Ultra 21 Days of Beauty because it was half off. And I like it so far. I think I messed up on the shade, but I feel like I can blend it into my neck, so I'm gonna be okay. But my whole room is full of my, oh my gosh, Britt Clark. I'm just being influenced 100%. It happens all the time. Oh my gosh. So question number 4, what's the worst purchase influenced by another influencer you've ever made? The worst purchase influenced by another influencer. Okay, so I thought really hard about the worst purchase I've ever made that was influenced by an influencer, and I'm gonna have to give it to Jaclyn Hill. So I don't know if this counts because technically the worst purchase I've ever made that was influenced by her was her own product. It was the Volt collection that she did with Morphe. I know some people have purchased those palettes and have had really good luck with them, but I got the bad batch. I got the batch that was like batch 1 or whatever that whole mess was, and I could not get those palettes to work. Like, trust me, I have all the Jaclyn Hill collabs except the very first one that she did with Morphe. So I have the original Jaclyn Hill palette. I have her Jaclyn Hill palette 2 that just came out this year, right? Was that this year? And those are fine, but those Volt palettes were nasty and I got rid of them so fast. I'm so bummed. Sometimes I contemplate like buying them again just to see if the formula has improved like so many people say they have. But honestly, I feel like I don't really need to give my money to Morphe right now, and also like buying an old palette just to see if it's gonna be any good or if they've made any positive changes is not really the best idea. So I'm not gonna do that, but that is definitely the palette or the product that comes to mind when I think of the worst palette that I was ever influenced to buy. Okay, so number 5 is, who are your favorite influencers whose recommendations you trust unconditionally? I think for the most part, I trust almost everyone I watch. I have to say that with my friends, I've kind of learned what their preferences are. So sometimes we agree on things and sometimes we disagree on things, and that's okay. I personally will listen to what they're saying, but if it's something that interests me, I don't really care what my friends are saying. I will usually pick it up and try it out for myself. So as far as people whose recommendations I trust unconditionally, I think I trust them just because I know their style, and at the end of the day, if it is something they'll recommend 100%, but it's not something that's going to work for me, I won't purchase it. But unconditionally, I would say Amy, Angie, and Britt Clark, Heather, for sure, because we just have very similar tastes when it comes to the things we like to buy. But overall, I think with the beauty community, I trust everyone that I watch and rave about because I know what their preferences are. And so if they describe something and it sounds like something I would enjoy, then I know that I can unconditionally trust that. I'm trying to think of anything that I've bought that I've really, really hated that my friends have recommended, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So I feel like this whole tag is just going to teach you guys what a big sucker I am when it comes to YouTube. I just love hearing friends' recommendations and deciding for myself if I'm going to buy them or not. Number 7, is FOMO a thing in your life? I think FOMO is definitely a thing in my life, especially when it comes to makeup. I feel like if there's something everyone's raving about and then I don't get it, I do feel a little bit of FOMO. I think the Stone Vibes was one that I was like, ooh, like everyone's making it sound so good, but then I was like, you know what? I'm not really sure because I just didn't know if it was going to be like the Moonstone palette. So once I actually got it for myself and I tried it and I realized it wasn't like the Moonstone palette, that was pleasant, but I think that I would have been okay. But I think I would be lying if I said FOMO wasn't a thing because at the end of the day, I am a huge makeup lover, and if there's something I really, really want, it's really hard for me to say no, and I usually don't. I have to be honest. I usually don't say no. If it's something I really want, I will make sure I can get it because, I mean, I'm not going to torture myself. So, yeah. FOMO is real for me. Number 7, how much money have you spent in the last 3 months on products you discovered through other influencers? Quite a bit. I mean, like I said, I showed you guys just, you know, on my vanity things that my friends had influenced me to buy. So I would say quite a bit. I don't know. I don't really keep track of like monetary amounts that I spend. I typically try to stay under like the $300 mark, but I'm also getting more things in PR now and stuff like that. And probably I've heard my friends talk about that stuff too. And then I'm just really grateful that I get it. So I would say probably at least $1,000 if I had to guess in the last 3 months. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Number 8, have you ever bought something you didn't initially want to buy because another influencer convinced you that you have to have it? And if so, what is it? Yeah, tons of things. The Tati Beauty palette comes to mind because I even said in my first impressions, I'm like, I never wanted this palette. I literally bought it because so many people either love the palette or hate the palette, and I wanted to see for myself if I was gonna love it or hate it. So I'm always like that. This palette, again, Britt Clark has been going on and on and on about how good this was, and she's like, oh my gosh, Orgasm X, like get this palette. And I used to wear Orgasm blush, so I was like, Britt, like, how good can it be? Like, it's Orgasm. We get it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, whatever. I didn't really tell Britt that, so don't be mad, Britt. But that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? Or how much can Orgasm change? But I got lucky, and Look Fantastic actually sent this to me, so I didn't have to pay for it. But now that I have it, I'm really happy that I do. So yeah, there's tons of things that my friends will recommend, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I don't need that. And then I end up, you know, side-eyeing it, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try it, and then I end up loving it. Okay, so number 9, what's the most important thing you have learned by watching other influencers? I think the most important thing I've learned, and I'm sure so many of you have learned this as well, that everyone's taste is different. You can be bestest of friends, you can have the same lifestyle, the same schedule, same family history, but you will have different preferences when it comes to your makeup. There's stuff that I try and my friends try, and then we all have different opinions on things. That happens all the time, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about YouTube is that you can find different perspectives, different opinions on this platform. And I think that's awesome. Different age groups, different skin types, different textures, different levels of expertise. Like there's professional makeup artists, there's people that literally learn how to do this by watching YouTube themselves. Like there's so much variety on YouTube. So I think that's the most important thing that I've learned, is that we can all be friends, we can all get along, but we can still love or hate the same things or different things. Like say for example, this palette, I feel like so many people have been like, oh my gosh, it's so awful, or whatever the heck people are saying about this palette, and I'm like, it wasn't as bad as I thought. And then the Glam palette, which I'm like, I hate cool tones, I'm never buying a cool tone palette, and here I am being a clown holding a Natasha Denona cool tone palette because I love Natasha Denona. So I think YouTube really celebrates variety and different opinions very well, and that's something I love about it as well. Okay, number 10, do you watch the kind of content you create, or do you go for something different, and why? I actually love watching the type of content I create because I love beauty YouTube. I love seeing what people are excited about, what palettes are coming out, people's eye looks. I love when people talk about eyeshadow. I could watch collection videos all day long, haul videos. I even really like Shop My Stash. But yeah, I'm like old school YouTube. I love all of the things. I love live videos now because those are fun, and you know, you really get to know people in the chat. And so yeah, I really love watching the kind of content that I create. I also sometimes dabble. I love to watch cooking videos. I love to watch fashion commentary. So yeah, I dabble here and there, but my main thing is definitely the type of content I create. I love watching hauls and collections and things like that. Okay, so the last question. If you could influence a large number of other influencers to try one thing that's really important to you or works well for you, what would it be? Ooh. Honestly, I think if I had to pick, it would be one of the Pat McGrath palettes. I think that the price point definitely scares a lot of people away, but I've had really good luck with her eyeshadow palettes. I don't think you need all of them. That might be a little much, but if I could influence everyone to try one of her eyeshadow palettes, I think that would be something really fun. I love that she is a women-owned brand and she's a professional makeup artist, and to see how well her brand has done over the last few years has been really wonderful. And so yeah, I would say a Pat McGrath palette. I remember when I first met Angie, I went to see her and I wanted to bring her a gift, and I was like, what could I bring Angie? And I was like, you know what, let me bring her a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette, because I feel like it's something I know she won't buy herself, but I feel like maybe if she tried it, she would love it. She doesn't love them as much as I do. She definitely can dupe them in her collection, and she definitely thinks they're a little bit overpriced, but that's okay. I still got her to try it, so I think that. And then the other thing, if I had to sneak in a second product, would be the Tower 28 lip glosses. I think those glosses are the bee's knees. They're the most comfortable lip gloss formula I have ever experienced in my life. So that is like two products I can think off the top of my head that I just absolutely would love for everyone to try themselves and experience it. Okay guys, that is the end of the influence of the influencers tag. I'm gonna go ahead and leave all the questions down in the description box in case you guys are interested in filming your own version of this tag. This is definitely a fun one, a little bit of a twist. I know me and my friends talk about influencing each other all the time. It's so funny. There's nothing more rewarding when you're a influencer to influence your influencer friends. It feels very validating when your friends that try so many beauty products try something you recommended and then they end up loving it and you're like, yes, that's awesome. So I really understand what Leora was trying to do with this tag. I think it's a super awesome tag. If you are a YouTuber, please consider filming this video and make sure you're letting Leora know, because I think she would totally love that. I'm gonna go ahead and tag a bunch of my friends down in my description box. So please, please, please go ahead and film this video. And if you guys at home are watching, feel free to leave me an answer to some of these questions down in the comments as well. You guys know I love chatting with you guys. And finally, just want to say a huge thank you to Katie Marie and Leora. I will be leaving both of their channels down in my description box for you guys to check out. And yeah, that is it, guys. I will see you with my next video on Friday. I'm not really sure what it is gonna be yet, but it'll be good. I'm sure of it. I will see you on Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.